In the year 2025, the United States of America stood on the precipice of collapse, echoing the tragic fate of ancient Rome. The streets that once buzzed with the vitality of innovation and democracy were now shadowed by despair, decay, and disillusionment. The decline was not sudden, it was a slow, insidious corruption that seeped into the very foundations of society, much like the rust that eats away at iron. At the heart of this decline was a class of politicians, the new patricians, who had turned public service into a lucrative business. They were no longer statesmen, they were self-serving oligarchs who prioritized personal gain over public welfare. Lobbyists roamed the halls of Congress like lions in a coliseum, influencing legislation with the kind of power that made even the most hardened emperors envious. Money flowed like water, and the political elite became the priests of a new religion, wealth. Among these politicians is the elected leader head of state, a charismatic figure whose silver tongue and sweeping promises of reform had won him a devoted following. He spoke of rebuilding America, of revitalizing the economy, and restoring the American dream. Yet, behind closed doors, he was orchestrating a different kind of revival, one that filled his coffers and those of his cronies. The Party of the Republic, once a bastion of hope, had become a breeding ground for avarice. Corruption became normalized, and integrity was an artifact of the past. Civil unrest simmered beneath the surface as the gap between the rich and the poor widened. The middle class, once the backbone of the nation, was eroding. Jobs were outsourced to cheaper labor markets, and tariffs on imported goods and automation replaced those that remained. The frustrations of the populace were palpable, akin to the unrest that plagued the Roman Empire during its decline. Protests erupted in the capital, but they were met with apathy from the elite, who watched from their ivory towers, insulated from the chaos below. Politicians resorted to distraction to placate the masses, a strategy reminiscent of the Roman games. They funded lavish public spectacles, concerts, sports events, and festivals, all broadcast live to a population hungry for entertainment and escape. The Super Bowl became a national holiday, eclipsing discussions of policy or governance. The populace was lulled into complacency, their discontent masked by the allure of transient pleasures. Yet, beneath the surface, the diseases of corruption and neglect festered. Infrastructure crumbled, bridges collapsed, and public services deteriorated. Education became a privilege for the elite, while the youth turned to radical ideologies that promised change, any change. Crime rates soared, and cities became battlegrounds, reminiscent of the violent streets of Rome as it fell into chaos. As the social fabric unraveled, the political class responded with increasing authoritarianism, passing laws that stripped away civil liberties in the name of security. Surveillance became ubiquitous, and dissent was silenced ruthlessly. The very freedoms that had once defined America were eroded, replaced by a climate of fear and control, another echo of Rome's descent into tyranny. In the final chapter, as the nation descended into chaos, a coalition of disgruntled citizens rose against the corrupt regime. They were not warriors trained for battle, but ordinary people, teachers, nurses, factory workers, united by a common cause. They took to the streets, demanding accountability from a government that had abandoned its duty. In the end, the story of America became a cautionary tale, a mirror reflecting the lessons of Rome, as the ashes of democracy scattered in the winds of time.